Pegasus, and I had a little bit of spare time, so I thought I'd whip down an acoustic version of a track called Amelia, which will be on the album once it comes out. Now I've decided to sit on the squeakiest chair ever. Hopefully that won't affect it too much. Now the idea that I've got in my head is to play along like a version now, and then play along to that version afterwards, and then hopefully sort of sync it up somehow. But it should work. In my head, I think it's going to be fine. So let's see. Lost forever under all this emptiness. Each time I try to get inside, you're running my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you leave me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. There's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. They say that time is a healer. I don't believe what they say. I'm broken anyway. Ever since we parted, it's never ending. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're running my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Don't tell me you love me when you're sorry. It's not enough, oh no. Only this time I woke and broken free. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, 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 Amelia. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. As I said in the comments a minute ago, a relaxed start to tonight's live stream with Amelia. So thank you guys for requesting that over on Patreon and giving us a slightly lower tempo start. But eventful week. I had a lot going on this week with the interview with Phil, and I'm sure that you guys have been up to speed with it. Phil Palmer, who joined me on Thursday, and since then, I mean, I've just been setting everything back up, or attempting to, over the last couple of days, Friday and then today. And it looks like, I don't know whether I'm imagining this or not, but it looks like the camera's now lighter. Or it's not as dark as it used to be. I don't know whether you guys can notice it looking a bit lighter or not. I'm kind of losing track of everything and how it used to look, how it looks now. But fortunately, I plugged in the camera and it's working and everything is fine. But on Wednesday, everything that could have gone wrong pretty much went wrong the day before then doing the interview. So I was spending the whole day literally up until I think midnight or just after, just troubleshooting and trying out cameras and trying adapters to get cameras to work with the Mac, and things just weren't working as they normally did. Unbelievably, my Mac actually crashed and then refused to start up. I pressed the start up button and it never got to the Apple loading logo. It was just a black screen. So obviously I was panicking a little bit on Wednesday, but then I unplugged another webcam that I had attached. That for some reason then allowed the computer to start up. So maybe it was a conflict of some sort. This never happened before. It just waited until the day before the interview, but then it at least booted up. So it was all good to go. And fortunately on Thursday, everything did work. And I'm amazed that it did work because I had so many things going at the same time because I do everything myself. So it means that I was setting up the 3 cameras, getting them to record, setting up the lavalier mics for me and for Phil, the lighting as well, making sure that lit the scene. But of course, when I'm then filming, I can't check anything because I'm interviewing Phil. So yeah, fortunately it did come out okay. And now it's just the small matter of editing it together, and we were talking for over 2.5 hours, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to get that down to a watchable length for you guys to see the interview and get it all down, get it concise, get all the points that we want to have in there. But I will work on that this week and we'll just see how I get on with that. So just to mention about Phil's book, because he has kindly left me 5 copies of Session Man. You might be able to, oh, there we go, it's better when we don't have the reflection. But this is his book, and he's left me 5 copies of those to give away, which we're going to start giving away after the video is released. So I'm kind of aiming for maybe next Sunday as a release date for the interview, the video. But then with the live streams after that, we'll work something out. I'll have a chat with Carla and we'll try and see if we can work something out with the pick roulette, but then to have a roulette where we give away these copies of Phil's book, or we could just have it for 5 pick roulettes. You get the pick, the signed pick, and then also Phil's book with a signed card that he's done as well. So it'll be signed and we'll put that in. I'm not sure how we're going to work that out because I've got the copies of the book and Carla sends out the picks, so we'll work something out. But anyway, I have 5 to give away, so that's great as well. So it was a great day spent with Phil, and a huge thank you to him for spending so long with me and chatting through so many things. But that video and the interview will be out hopefully next Sunday. I know it's going to take me a long time to edit it together, so I will keep you guys in the loop as always over on Patreon. So head over there if you want to stay up to date with everything. Let me put that up on screen so you guys can see the link. Let me actually get my patrons up on screen, and let me get you guys up on screen to see who's in the live chat room tonight. Let's get rid of that so we can see. And well, William's just going through with a $5 donation. Thank you for that. But we'll get to the donations in a second. But we've got Carl in there, and Brian, and Bev, and Jennifer, and Chris, and Rocker Girl. Bob's in there as well. Totoro, Porco, Vincent, Jennifer as well. So thank you, Michelle, Karen, Francis, all you guys in the live chat room. Thank you for joining me tonight. Usually I get the live chat room up on screen immediately, and then it's really fast to go through the names. So it's a little bit slower tonight, which helped me out a little bit. Huge shout out to the moderators as well for doing such a fantastic job. And you'll be able to see those names go through in blue in the live chat room. You've got Neil in there, and you've got Susan and Dennis, who I can see are just about to go through the live chat room. Laurie's in there, and Carla, of course. So big thanks to them as always for keeping this such a great place to be on a Saturday night and a Tuesday night. So I think at the moment I'm not quite centralized on the camera, or maybe I don't know, but this is the first live stream since literally taking everything down, putting it in a different position, and now having to plug everything back in and putting it on top of the monitor again, this camera. But yeah, hopefully it's all working and that you can hear me and see me. I'm just going to take for granted that you can, because I always keep an eye on the live chat room to see if there are any comments where people say, we can't see you, we can't hear you, so it should be okay, hopefully, fingers crossed. And we have a little bit of an impromptu celebration live stream tonight, because we have just passed 234,000 subscribers. Again, amazing to go up by another 1,000, and a huge thank you to everybody for subscribing and just getting involved with the videos, commenting, requesting other videos for me to take a look at, and hit that notification bell to make sure you never miss a video, especially to make sure that you don't miss the video when it's released with Phil, because that interview is really interesting to get his insight on so many performances, which you can then go on YouTube and see the performance that he's talking about, and see maybe a solo that he's talking about as well that he played with Eric Clapton, and I think we do mention that in the interview, but also a solo that he did with Bryan Adams, which was part of the Golden Jubilee here in the UK, the Queen's Golden Jubilee. So yeah, that was held at Buckingham Palace, and it had Brian May playing on the roof and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, Phil was part of the house band for that event, so he got to play, and he had to play all of the acts' music who were performing on that night. So yeah, really interesting to get his insight on that, but it's all in his book. So you will be able to get your hands on his book by tuning in to a live stream if you're lucky and you manage to win it. But I'll also put a link in the video with the interview. We're going to have a link in the description, so you'll be able to just click on that to grab the book, because it's definitely worth a read. And I'm not a huge reader, I'm not a fast reader either, but it's not a huge book, but there's loads in there, and pretty much every page there's a new amazing story that you just have to hear the end of. So yeah, it's a great book. Let me just get that off the screen so you can see me. Let me shut those people up as well. So with tonight's live stream, we're going to be doing what we always do. We are going to be having a pick roulette later on, because we reached the target for last week's likes goal. Mentioning that, let me try and get this up on screen. We are aiming for 305 likes tonight, so if you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be massively appreciated. It really helps the live streams to get out there and for the channel to grow as a whole, but it also helps us to get to our target to see if we can have another pick roulette next week and have a lucky winner. I haven't picked a top tip for tonight, so I'm going to keep an eye on the live chat room to see if anybody wants to sacrifice themselves for tonight's pick roulette for my 0%. That sounded a little bit New Zealand, maybe a bit Australian. 100%. Right, I'm not going to even try and put an accent. I can't do accents. So that was just, I don't know where that one came from. But the 100% losing streak that I'm on that has just lasted since the beginning of the pick roulettes. But anyway, if somebody wants to be the top tip, let me know in the live chat room and I will pick you, and you can sacrifice yourself for tonight. Anyway, the great thing about having 234,000 subscribers is that we are pretty close to having the dream of 234,567 subscribers. And I'm going to keep an eye on the counter to see, A, if we get there, and 2, to see if we get... I think that's from Home Alone. And then he says, and C or something, I don't know. But anyway, that was a film that I watched recently, Home Alone. And yeah, I don't know why I'm quoting Home Alone. But anyway, I just like saying A and then 2, or 1 and then B. But anyway, let's get on with it. Let's just move on with this live stream. Try and get things moving. I'll mention about the poll. I'm just throwing myself off thinking about movie quotes now, but we have a vote going on at the moment, and it is Power of Love and Don't Stop Believing. Those are the two options. So I can see that Power of Love is at 56% of the vote so far. So thank you guys for voting. We'll keep an eye on that to see which one we're going to be looking at tonight. And yeah, I mean, there are a lot of songs called Power of Love, but this is Huey Lewis and the News, whose name I couldn't fit in because there aren't enough characters in the poll options in order to type it all, but you guys get the idea. Huey Lewis and the News actually in the lead at the moment with 56% of the vote. So just click on the poll and you'll be able to have your say on what we'll be looking at a little bit later on. So we are at 17 minutes past midnight here in the UK. Let me get the donations percentages up on screen as well, so you get a lay of the land for where the donations go. 35 to 45% of the donations through the super chat window on YouTube goes to YouTube, and 3 to 5% of every donation through PayPal goes to PayPal. So obviously PayPal take a lot less of a percentage, but it's up to you. However you want to donate is absolutely fine with me. You don't have to donate at all, but just in case you feel the need to, then you can do that. However, yes, you feel necessary. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Just to give you a lay of the land on the percentages. Anyway, let me just jump into the donations as I mentioned them, because we did have some that came in before we went live, and I'm just going to scroll up to make sure that I don't miss anybody out, because they did come in quite early on, so thank you guys for these. The first one came in from Jennifer for $10. Thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, Phil, question 1. I found out that John played steel on an old Beatles tune. How hard is it to go from regular guitar to playing steel? So thank you for that, Jennifer. And it depends. I would say it probably depends on your level of playing anyway. Once you start playing slide, and if you're purely playing slide, if we're talking about playing, lap steel guitar and just playing that way, it means that you're now going to be playing on strings that are tuned differently. Generally, they are going to be open string tuning. So it means that when you take your slide over the strings, you can just keep that in a straight line. Obviously, you have to be accurate, but it means that you'll get the full chord as long as you line up the slide correctly. So I think it's just a case of having an appreciation for the techniques, such as vibrato. I mean, it's not something that I've done. I've never gone to playing, lap steel at any point. I've always played traditionally, or having the guitar in an upright position rather than a horizontal position. But I imagine that once, for me, taking that on, I wouldn't feel particularly worried about it too much, because I know that now I can just shift to chords like you would do. Imagine the first finger, if you do play guitar, your first finger of your bar chord, that's pretty much your focus when you're shifting keys. And with a slide, you just got to make sure that you just keep it in a straight line and just get over the frets in order to get a nice accurate tuning and accurate sounding chords. So yeah, and then there's vibrato of just moving it side to side in a controlled manner. So yeah, I don't think it's really difficult. It's not like totally learning a different instrument, because you've already got an appreciation of the guitar as a whole, and you might have already played slide on guitar anyway, so you might have a bit of an advantage. It's not like learning to do something totally alien, but yeah, but to get really good at it, it's like anything with the guitar. If you're learning a different style, a different technique, you have to practice that a lot. There's so many different ways of playing the guitar, so many different techniques, that it's the reason why there are so many different great players who all play the guitar differently. You've got great slide players, you've got great blues players, you've got great country players who use hybrid picking on the right hand. They might play fingerstyle. You might have someone who just plays with the pick, alternate picking, sweep picking. So there's so many different ways of playing. And then you've got more percussive players who start striking the guitar and the strings, tapping on the strings. So this is why when people say, oh, who's the best guitarist ever? you can't really say that anyone's ever the best because there are so many different ways of playing it. And are you involving in that discussion players who sing? Because there are a hell of a lot of players who never even sing, but then a lot of players who are great guitarists, but they sing as well. Because working at singing is a whole nother entity that you've got to take on, and more often than not, you've got to sacrifice what you're learning on the guitar to be able to sing, to use your vocal cords, which I'll always say that if you can't sing, learning to sing is one of the most difficult things to do and the most time-consuming things to do, because the great thing about playing the guitar is that it will always be in tune. You can just use a tuner like this, and as long as you put your fingers in the right place, that note is going to be spot on. Whereas with singing, you can't tune your vocal cords so that every time you sing a song, you're perfectly on pitch. Of course, auto-tune is something that was invented to help with that, but I'm talking about just performing naturally with your instrument, with the guitar, whatever it might be. You might play piano, but working at the vocals and getting those vocal cords to do what you want them to do is very difficult indeed. So whether you even include that in the argument, you could have a whole different table for guitarists who only play, because of course they can spend all of their time on the guitar. And then you've got players who sing, who have got to work at singing and playing the guitar. So they're taking on more than one thing. And then they might be multi-instrumentalists. So what do you say about those? You might have guitarists like Prince, for example, who played other instruments. So you've got to spend time on those other instruments and not just focusing on playing the guitar. So anyway, yeah, lots of different ways to come up with your favourite players. I always say favourite players because I don't think you can ever have a best. It's not a competition, and music is an art form. But anyway, thank you, Jennifer, for that question. And there's a second question from Jennifer, another $10 donation. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil, question 2, do you think musical talent can be passed down through genetics? If not, how is it that so many well-known artists have talented parents or siblings? Thanks. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And I don't know, this is up for debate because I guarantee that any musician or anybody that has had a successful career in the music industry, when they have a kid, that kid is exposed to music at a very young age. So it means that they start to hear the language of music and start to take that on. And when a child is learning how to speak, they're learning how to control their vocal cords, how to repeat words, how to communicate using their voice. And if they are hearing notes, melodies, and they are communicating through that as well, they are learning to sing at the same time as learning to talk. So I believe that if a child's parent is feeding them musical information when they are learning to talk, they are getting an appreciation of that whole language, and they can speak that language. So by the time they get to 7 or 8 or 9 years of age, they can hit notes just because it's natural, because they are copying what their parents have been doing. So when you compare that to a parent who doesn't sing and doesn't expose their child to any music or any melody when they're growing up, it means that more often than not, the child can't learn or can't sing. They have to learn to sing. And when you have parents who have children who can sing, more often than not, the child has been listening to music. They've listened to a particular artist or a group of singers who they have taken on that ability to sing from. So I don't think that any kid just is born with the ability to naturally sing if nobody teaches them how to sing or shows them. And I think every child has the capability to sing. And it's like my nephews. My sister can sing, and it comes from my mum. She used to sing around the house. My dad didn't really sing around the house, but sang in like covers bands and that kind of stuff, and did his own music thing. So there was always some kind of melody going on around the house. We listened to a lot of music as kids, and my parents would always play music in the car, whatever journey we went on. So it meant that myself, my sister picked it up, but I couldn't sing when I was younger, so my sister was picking up the melody and how to do it, but she was always singing. She was always repeating what was happening, but I wasn't. I was always kind of pretending to play drums and keeping the rhythm, and I knew how to do that, but I couldn't sing, particularly when I was younger, so I had to learn. And I started learning about age 28, so I was very late to that. But my sister could sing. And because of that, when my nephews have grown up, my sister's been singing to them, and now my nephews can at least copy the notes. Like if you sing something, like if you sing happy birthday, they will sing happy birthday in the same key that everybody else, like myself and my sister, are singing it in. So they've got that ability, but that's something that they have picked up because they've been copying my sister who has been singing to them. So I think it's probably more likely that the kids who have parents who are singers were sung to when they were young and they picked it up, and therefore when people say, oh, they've just got a natural ability to sing, I think they've just learned to sing as they've grown up, and it's something that in the formative years of the brain has been attributed to conversation and communication and a language, so they can just access it. And that's how I think it goes, really. Yeah, more often than not, the children can do the same as the parent because the parent is doing it, and they're just copying, they're emulating exactly what they're hearing, what they're seeing. But anyway, thank you for that, Jennifer. And Orlando donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, I will try tuning in tonight. Spike those likes with some rock horns, and let's have a plug of the mug. And there it is. If you want to get your hands on a mug like that or any of the Wings of Pegasus merchandise, then head to the tray underneath this video or the link in the description below. Click on that. It will take you straight through to the spring.com store, where you'll be able to find all of the merchandise, such as the hoodies, the zipped hoodie, the normal hoodie, the t-shirts. What other stuff have we got there? We've got hats as well. I lose track of all of the merchandise that's available there, but something that I'm still working on is getting the beanie hat type things, which we have definitely needed in the UK. Recently, we've had really stormy weather. The wind has been crazy, and yeah, I think part of the roof of the O2 in London has been removed because of the wind. We've had planes that haven't been able to land at Heathrow. So yeah, just ridiculous winds going on at the moment. It's actually died down, because I think you would probably be able to hear it if they hadn't died down, because yeah, really severe stuff going on. But fingers crossed, it's not going to be quite as bad again. But yeah, just I don't think we've seen storms like this for, I think, 15 years, they said, something like that. So yeah, really crazy, but definitely weather for wrapping up warm and actually not going outside because it's too dangerous with trees falling over, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, yes, if you want to get your hands on the merchandise, head over to the spring.com store. But the link's in the description below, you'll be able to find it there. You can also head over to wingsofpegasus.com/merch to get the Wings of Pegasus pics, all that kind of stuff, necklaces, and the merchandise that Carla makes over there. Let me just pop up the website so you guys know where to go, and it's pretty self-explanatory. This wingsofpegasus.com. So let's get rid of that. Right, let me just continue with the donations, because Paul donated as well, $2. Thank you for that. And the message was, hello, all y'all. Spike those likes, 234k. Excellent. So thank you for that, Paul. And let me just quickly mention about the donation that came in at the end of the last live stream on Tuesday, and this was Wilhelm, who donated £35.39. So thank you for that, and I just want to show that on screen because that came in right at the end of the last live stream, so I didn't get to address that or broadcast it, so there it is. Thank you for that. And I know that there has been another donation in the PayPal window that came in earlier as well. This came in from Jacqueline, and it was at 10:47 on Wednesday evening. So thank you for that, Jacqueline. And that was a straight up donation. So let me just get that on screen, even though you're not necessarily going to see anything because it was a straight up donation. But thank you for that, Jacqueline. And actually, let me get back, because that was back on Wednesday, let me get to tonight so that we are up to date. And Here we go. So let me scroll up a little bit. Hopefully that's centralized. Linda Z's in the house and has donated £10. Thank you for that, Linda Z. And the message is, well, Phil, I miss a couple of live streams and great things start happening for you. Hope that doesn't mean I have to stay on the catch-up crew, with a winky face. So thank you for that, Linda Z. Good to see you in the house tonight, and it has been really busy. Just this whole week of getting everything organised for Phil. It's going to be another busy week of editing, getting that all together, because usually my weeks are jam-packed anyway. So it's just going to be a case of finding time to stick that video together, but I will do that next week. I'll keep you guys in the loop over on patreon.com as to how it's all going. And yeah, last night, was it last night? I lose track, but I had an email from Frankie Valli's musical director, who said that he watched the channel, but also that Frankie's watched the channel as well, and the video that I did on him, an analysis video, which he liked, which is great as well. And he was just sending me a message on Facebook, but also then emailed me just so I had his contact information about maybe doing something in the future together. But we will see. It's all just great to have a few bridges, a few open doors. We'll see what happens in the future. The focus really is editing the interview with Phil, because, yeah, some great stuff in there that I think you guys will really enjoy. And I'll keep you up to date as to when that is going to be released as well. Anyway, let me show you some pictures from, I think it's probably only going to be, let me get that background up on screen. I think it is now stayed there, which is good. I did upload a picture to Instagram, I believe, but here's a black and white one, a little bit stylized, of myself and Phil modeling the book Session Man. That is Phil's book that you can get your hands on now. Let me get rid of that. And we had another one, and this was not quite as artistic, but there's myself and Phil. I think that was after the interview, maybe. But yeah, the interview went on for just over 2.5 hours. But as you can see with the camera set up there, I was having to get the camera set up and get the camera's lead. Again, it was one of those things where trying to find compatible leads, it was a nightmare, because I knew that I had this Canon lead somewhere, and luckily it was in my drawer of leads where I just tend to throw everything in, and I just had to find it in there so that we could at least have a front-on view, because otherwise we would have just had the angles from the side, because the Sony HD cameras were working from the side, but then the webcam from the front, this webcam actually has a fisheye lens to it from about maybe there outwards. So, of course, when you're looking at the picture, it looked like the walls were bending in the corners. So I thought, well, I can't use this. And I had to use... Actually, I tried to use another camera. That didn't work. That was the webcam. I tried to then use a camera that I can't remember what make it was. It wasn't a Nikon camera, it was something else, but it's like an SLR camera. And, Panasonic. So I tried to use one of those. That didn't work either. So then I tried to use my Canon camera, which I didn't have a compatible lead for. Anyway, long story short, finally it got to work. The only problem was that it was clipped at a particular frame rate. So that front-on view, the frame rate is a little bit less than the HD cameras from the Sony cameras. But anyway, these technical problems, I did say on Patreon that I think the problem is that I go through all of the issues that the sound guys have, and then the camera crew have, and then the editing crew will have, getting to edit it together, the lighting crew as well, because I'm doing it all myself, the staging as well, getting rid of the drum kit, bringing the sofa in here, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was a lot, but we got away with it, hopefully, fingers crossed, I think, in the end. But anyway, if you guys can hit that thumbs up, be much appreciated. Where are we with that? We are at, I haven't even got that on screen yet. So it is 295. 295. We're 10 away from the likes goal, and I've only just got it on screen. So apologies for that, but we are looking for 10 more people to hit that thumbs up to hit our target for tonight. Anyway, let me get back into these donations because I want to make sure that I do address all of them. And Jennifer donated again, $5. Thank you for that, Jennifer, in the super chat window. And the message was, Phil, did you have help moving the couch? How is the hand doing? Take care. So thank you for that. And yes, I did have help. In fact, I had to... employ the help of my mum and dad. And actually, they did most of the lifting because I think if I were to try and lift a sofa, it's just too risky for me. I mean, fortunately, my parents' arms are fully functional. So, yeah, they didn't have too many problems. I did try to help. I did wear a sling as well to take some of the weight from my arm to try and help. But it wasn't too heavy because once I took off the feet of it, it's not a massively heavy sofa when you take the cushions off it, because we just then had to pretty much lift the bare bones, and it's not a really, I don't know what it's made out of, but it's not a really heavy wood, so we just, yeah, didn't struggle too much. It's more just the awkwardness of it, but that was fine. The only problem that I did have is leaning underneath this desk and stretching my arm out, my right arm, which I won't do now. Yeah, just stretching it out at a weird angle. Yeah, I have kind of hurt my right arm now, which I'm just going to rest and hope that it's not too serious. It should be all right within about a week. But everything was a little bit manic, just trying to get everything organised, and of course rushing. And when you're lifting things and doing things, because I couldn't do it with the left arm, I was doing everything with the right arm. And then when you do something at the wrong angle and you're rushing, it's not a good idea. But anyway, hopefully everything will be fine. But thank you for that, Jennifer. And William donated $5, which I actually mentioned right at the beginning of the live stream, 38 minutes ago. But thank you for this, William. And it says, good job, with the cat doing a thumbs up. So thank you for that, William. Jennifer donated again $5. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil, the name of that book is funny because that is the name of the book about the late session drummer, Bobby Graham. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And yeah, I mean, it's quite a common term to have. You either have a session guy or a session man. It's just what they are referred to, just guys that come along and do the job at pretty much short notice or the drop of a hat. They'll be there in order to play whatever you want them to play. But thank you for that, Jennifer. And Maria has donated $2. Thank you for that, Maria. The message is, you look and sound fine. Congrats, 234K. So thank you for that confirmation, Maria. And I don't know, maybe I am centralized because it looks like I'm between the live chat and the PayPal donations quite well. I might even be more centralized than I have been before in the live streams. Again, it's just a bit random as to where I would end up considering all of the new positions of the cameras, but I think we're getting away with it. Thank you as well to M, who donated $5 and says, keep it up with the guy working out. Thank you for that, M. And Stardust Unicorn donated $2 and says, cool. Thank you for that. Support band to Wings of Pegasus, of course. And Sean has donated $2.79 Canadian cents or something. I don't know if they have cents in Canada, and I'm hoping that that is from Canada. So thank you for that, Sean. And the message is, when are you going to react to some Rush? So I have done some analysis videos on Rush, I think 2 in the past, and one was more of a tribute to Neil Peart when he passed away. And there is a very, I think it was quite a while ago actually now that I did one on Rush. So it might be one of those that I'll have to revisit in the future and maybe do a different video, maybe do a little bit more of an in-depth video. So yeah, we'll have to have a little look at that in the future. But thank you for requesting that. Maybe if you can let me know which video, if there's a particular video that you want to see, then I can make a note of that and I can stick that on the list as well. So thank you for that, Sean. And MMO3B2 has donated $10. Thank you so much for that. It's a straight up donation, and then another donation of the same amount saying get in some merch. So thank you for that. And another $10 who says, or MMO3B2, who says, Suzanne's boyfriend, by the way. Oh, thanks. Great show. So thank you for that, for those 3 donations, actually, and for the kind words about the show, the live stream. So thank you for those. Francis has donated $5. Thank you for that, Francis. And the message is, where is the like commenter? And thank you for that, because these are obviously donations that came in before I did the live commenter. I was really late with that, so apologies for that. But thank you for that donation, Francis, and for letting me know if I hadn't spotted it before. Susan and Dennis have donated $5 and says your live commenter is missing from the screen. So thank you for that as well. Hopefully everything is on the screen now that needs to be on the screen. And I think we're up to date with the Super Chat donations, so thank you guys for those. Just quickly, Suzanne has donated £14 and 8 pence in the PayPal window. Thank you for that. And the message is, so very thankful for you. And thank you, Suzanne, and everyone for joining me on tonight's live stream on this Saturday night, celebrating, even though it wasn't planned, as celebrating 234 subscribers. That's what we're going to be celebrating tonight. And I like the fact that I can just start the crowd and then stop them instantly. But thank you, Suzanne, for that donation. But you guys for joining me on these live streams, for hitting that thumbs up, for getting us to the likes goals as well, because we are at 339, so we have hit the target, which means we're going to be having another pick roulette next week. And if this is your first live stream, introduce yourself to the live chat room. And if you want to get your name on the pick roulette wheel for next week to stand a chance of winning the signed wings of Pegasus pick, then make sure that you stay tuned for later on, because the entries for that don't start till after the pick roulette for tonight's live stream. So stay tuned for that. Right, let me just scroll up, because Richard Totoro Poker has donated £3. Thank you for that, Richard. And the message is, how does it feel to receive recognition from other musicians, including a legend like Frankie Valli? You should be very proud that you've accomplished everything through your own hard work without the assistance of any management or corporate backing. Totoro Porco is proud of you. So thank you for that, Richard. And yes, it's great to have messages from people who I do videos on and people that check out the channel. And this is the other thing, that even guys like Phil, who's just a renowned session guy, player, you know, having played with, I mentioned just literally everybody, you know, literally everybody, you know, George Michael, Eric Clapton, who is played with Eric for years, maybe 25 years, something like that, but just a crazy amount of time with Eric Clapton, just touring the world, playing at the Royal Albert Hall as well, multiple shows there, playing for royalty, being part of the Golden Jubilee Band. So I think it's just the scope of the audience that we have on the channel, that we have guys who are just professionals who've been doing it for a very long time, who are watching the videos. You also have, you know, producers like Warren, who, you know, he has produced like a pro here on YouTube and occasionally pops into the live stream chat room, as he did, I think, either the last live stream or the live stream before. You also have the next generation of musicians and, you know, just guys getting involved. You know, Taj, for example, Taj Farrant, who is in the live chat room sometimes on the live stream. So we've got music fans here. We've got guys like Frankie just tuning in to watch videos. So yeah, it's great. You know, there are so many musicians who've got in touch, which is great. And it would take me too long to name all of the musicians, but it's great to have such a widespread of people, or just such a demographic of people watching the videos. And I think when the musicians get in touch and they're watching the videos, it gives the channel a credibility that I think a lot of other channels don't necessarily have, because there isn't the educational element to it. And it's something that, actually today I got a comment from somebody who said they had been a professional musician for, I don't know how many years, maybe 30 years, but they are picking things up from the videos, which is great, because I also get people that say, I don't even play the guitar. I don't even know anything about music. I don't know how to read or write. I just listen to music and enjoy it. And I get something out of the videos as well. So I think it's great that we can have so many different styles of music on the channel, but so many different viewers who are getting things out of the videos. So, you know, it's very rewarding for me as well to know that I'm helping to maybe get people to see music in a different light, or maybe educate them on something that they might not have noticed, or give them a deeper appreciation of music that they've been listening to for years but never really noticed about their favorite artist or band. But anyway, yeah, it is fantastic. So thank you, Richard, for that donation, and you guys for joining me on these live streams, because it's great to touch base with you in a live setting. But I am in the comment section all the time, as you guys know. I mark all of the comments that I have read, which I try to make every single one. So that's why there are a lot of those marks on there. But thank you as well to Vincent, who has donated £70.38. So thank you so much for that very kind donation. And I'm just going to scroll up because another one has come in from Joan. And Joan has donated £100. Thank you so much for that, Joan. A very kind donation indeed. That is massively appreciated. And I'm just going to scroll down because the message is, congratulations on Phil Palmer interview. Here's a little something for the hard drive fund. So thank you for that, Joan. And this is something that I mentioned over on Patreon about the amount of space that I have filled up with that interview, because it was over 2.5 hours. And one of the videos was about 156 gigabytes. So I think it was at least over a terabyte of information that I had to then get onto the computer. So yeah, fortunately I did have enough space, but I would say that I'm going to have to make another purchase or two just to make sure that I don't clog up the computer, because I know it's getting close, because it's probably down to, I don't know, maybe 100 gigabytes or something like that, which, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but actually I do fill that up quite quickly. So I will have to, get on the hard drive case again. But thank you, Joan, so much for that donation, for that particular fund. And William's donated £3.52 as well. Thank you for that, William. And the message is, thanks, Phil, for all the knowledge of music you share. And no problem. As I always say, if you guys are tuning in and requesting videos, I will keep on making them. But thank you to Mary as well, who has donated £10. So that is a straight up donation. And thank you for that. Another one has come in from Pamela for £7.04, a straight up donation. Thank you for that, Pamela. And Tammy has donated £10. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is 234k subscribers. Wow, you'll be flying before you know it. Congratulations, and lots of pictures. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Tammy messaged me earlier, I believe, about the CDs and how long they take to get from the UK over to the USA. And I think it's roughly 2 to 3 weeks. Maybe with COVID, it could take a little bit longer, but I think pretty much 2 to 3 weeks from when I send them out. And this is the other thing, that I generally manage to send out CDs on a Monday and a Thursday, because those are my admin days and times that I have in order to just, package up CDs and get them sent off. So I think, looking back, the order was made on a Friday or a Saturday, so then I posted it on the Monday. So yeah, it takes 2 to 3 weeks. But anyway, that's just for you guys to know. If you are heading over to wingsofpegasus.com and picking up any music there, then if you're just ordering the physical copy, the signed copy, because obviously I send those out from here, you will get that in 2 to 3 weeks over in the USA. But thank you for that, Tammy. And Karen has donated £3.52. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, congrats on 234k subscribers. Tonight my Wings of Pegasus tumbler drink is peppermint tea. I know you've had an eventful week. Perhaps I can relate. My week included a car rear swiping mine while I was driving and taking off. Very nice. Thanks for your place of smiles. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And sounds like maybe a car rear swiping. There must be some kind of car accident, but I hope everything is okay. Always, I mean, that is something that I'm sure a lot of people have been looking out for driving on the roads here in the UK with the winds. Collapsing trees are something that people have literally been avoiding, and yeah, it's really dangerous, and it has been over the last few days, to even drive anywhere. So I have not been going anywhere, but I've been spending all my time in this room. But I have been thinking about trees potentially blowing on top of this building, or this, well, it's not a building, it is technically it is a building, but it's just a room of a building. So yeah, if something did fall on top of me, I'd have to just jump under the desk or something. But fortunately, the winds have died down now. So hopefully we've seen the worst of it. But thank you, Philip, as well, who has donated £7.04. Thank you for that. And the message is, do you ever sleep, Phil? With a question mark. So I do at some points, but certainly leading up to the interview, I didn't get very much sleep because I just wanted to make sure every technical hitch had been ironed out and that everything was ready to go. I think pretty much, I mean, actually, I know that I slept on Friday night because I fell asleep. I mean, I wasn't planning on sleeping, but I fell asleep because I think my body said, okay, we need to sleep at some point. So I grabbed maybe half an hour of sleep, and that was just when I was in my room sitting down. But I think it was probably just because I had the Tuesday night live stream, which pretty much then I had to get everything up to date with the Tuesday night live stream, but I wanted to try and get a head start on Wednesday for setting everything up. And then Wednesday, I pretty much from when I got up, I was then going all the way through until I then went to bed on Wednesday night. And then I got up early on Thursday because obviously I had to get everything I had to make sure that everything the night before was still working. So, and then Phil actually turned up early, but I was just about ready. So that was at about 10 to 1 in the afternoon. So I then had the 2.5 hours of that, and then it took about 6.5 hours after Phil had left in order to upload everything to the computer. And then I started having to break stuff down, and that pretty much lasted until I then went to bed. And then the next day I was trying to get everything loaded onto the computer, and it was a bit full on. And then Friday's the time at which I then fell asleep in the evening. But then, I mean, Friday night, which was last night, so it's pretty much taken me to now. I then did get some sleep, so pretty much okay now, and I'll get some sleep definitely tonight because I'm not going to do any editing until next week. That's something that I've said to myself. I need to get some sleep just to recharge before tomorrow, because I'll be doing another analysis video, and then on Monday, an admin day, I'm just going to make sure that hopefully I just spend that on catching up with everything, and I won't quite start the editing. I just have a bit of time. But anyway, thank you for that, Philip, for that donation. Good name, by the way. And Howard has donated £1.41. Thank you for that. The message is, hi Phil, the wingers all wish Billy to feel better. If you wish her well, I think she will feel even more better. So thank you for that, Howard, and I hope, Billy, that you feel better soon and that everything is okay. Maybe if you can catch this live stream, maybe if everybody can say, feel better, Billy, or actually that sounds a bit too much like an order. Maybe just saying, get well soon, Billy, or something like that in the live chat room. Type it in there. I'm sure Billy would appreciate that a lot. But thank you for that, Howard. And I'm just going to scroll up because another donation's come in, and it is Susan in the house who has donated £50. So thank you so much for that. And just scrolling down because it says best wishes, Phil, as always. And I think Susan hasn't been here in quite a while. So great to see Susan again in the live chat room. And thank you for joining me tonight. It's always a welcome name to see. So I will be jumping into it's 5 to 1. Right, I need to move things on with the live stream. I'm just going to scroll up because Philip donated £7.04 again, saying, Phil, do you ever sleep again? So thank you for that, Philip. And if that was an accidental double donation, just let me know and I can get the £7.04 back to you. But thank you again for that donation. I am just going to end the poll for the cover, and then we're going to jump straight into it because we still have the pick roulette to get through tonight, and we have some donations in the the super chat window as well. So from the live chat room, effectively, because that's how you get into the super chat room, through the live chat room. But I will jump into those probably after, and let's have a look at this. It is 56% for Power of Love. So we will jump straight into that. We'll get into the Super Chat donations after this, and then we'll have a look at some pictures, which we've got to do as well, and then pick roulette, and then after that, the entries for next week's Pick Roulette will open. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It's my version of Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock!
Make a bad one good, make a wrong one right. The power of love that keeps you home at night. Don't need money, don't take fame. Don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just save your life. That's the power of love. That's the power. But it might just save your life. They say that all in love is fair. Yeah, but you don't care. But you know what to do when it gets hold of you. With a little help from above, you feel the power of love. You feel the power.
And there we have it. That was an abrupt ending. I just cut it off there. But thank you for, first of all, requesting that on Patreon and answering my requests over there, but also for voting for that one tonight. So that was Power of Love, or my version of it by Huey Lewis and the News from Back to the Future, of course. And I was wearing a t-shirt in there. I think it's probably more on the show with the shots when I was playing the drums. You might be able to see the little link that we have there to Back to the Future with the Sports Almanac, which it was Back to the Future too. But anyway, let me move things forward to the pictures that we've got going tonight. So let me get the background up on screen because first of all, we have a picture been sent in by Suzanne, who is showing us her Wings of Pegasus mug. So there we go. Let's see how they get on. And on the other side of that, it says, and there we have it, which is, you can see there's the purple version of the mug. There's also a black and white version of the mug, which I have on me this evening. But you can get the Tuesday night live stream mugs as well if you are a Tuesday night, live streamer as well. But anyway, thank you, Suzanne, for uploading that one. We had one that came in from Francis as well. And we've got a whole load of Wings of Pegasus going on here. We've got the album, which is the signed album. We've got the mug on the right-hand side, the purple one, and the actually on the left-hand side is the Tuesday night live stream mug. Also, we've got a pick tin there and a pick. So, thank you for uploading that one, Francis. And we have a picture here of Vince jamming out, playing some sweet guitar riffs with his daughter at a gig. So thank you for that, Vince. And actually there's another one here where Vince is now giving the camera some love. And looks like we might have an E minor going on there. It looks like that first finger is just floating up in the air. So we've got a nice E minor chord going on from Vince. Oh, and by the way, let me mention at this point that if you want to get involved over on Facebook with the Wings of Pegasus supporters group, then you can do. Just type that into the search bar over on Facebook. Join the group because Vince hosts the after party after these live streams. And there is Vince himself. So thank you guys for uploading those pictures, and thank you Vince and Carla for linking me to pictures as well so I can grab them before the live streams. So if you want to upload a picture yourself, head over to that Facebook group and that's where they are grabbed and then sent through to me, and then I can get them on the live streams. So if you want to get your name on the live streams, then you can head over to Patreon and become a patron of mine if you want to get involved. I always say it's the foundation of the channel, and if everything stopped on YouTube, Patreon is where my videos would then be. They really do make everything possible for me on not only YouTube but just everything that I do. Just having the finances to be able to buy hard drives and buy equipment, and for example buy the 2 Sony HD cameras that I needed to get for the interview this week with Phil Palmer that I mentioned before. So a massive thank you to you guys for all of your support over on Patreon, but also for your donations here on YouTube because they make such a huge difference. So a big shout out to you guys, all of your generosity, but also just for joining me in the first place on these live streams. It's such a great community that we've built up here on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. If this is your first live stream, we also have this fun time on a Tuesday as well. So I always say you can double your chances of winning the pick roulette if you tune in on both live streams, because we do them on the both live streams, when we hit the pick roulette. Let's go. Let's move on to the pick roulette before I lose the ability to speak at all. So we'll just jump straight into this. Good luck, everybody. I didn't pick a top tip, but I will do in a second. So I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the pick roulette wheel up on screen. If this is your first pick roulette wheel, you can see we have some darker segments here. Those are for t-shirts. So if we land on one of those, then we have a t-shirt roulette. And let me pick a top tip that is going to definitely lose tonight because of my 0% record that I'm maintaining very well. Mary Hill. There we go. So Mary, unfortunately I have picked you as the top tip for tonight. So there's Mary, and let's give it a spin and see who is going to win tonight. So whoever this lands on will receive a signed Wings of Pegasus pick. And as I always say, you have to be in it to win it. So make sure that you are in the live chat room if you have entered in for the pick roulette. Otherwise, you won't be able to let yourself be known to Carla, and she won't be able to send you the pic to make the arrangements to get your address and all that kind of stuff. So we are slowing down, and it looks like, is it going to be Joey, maybe Susan? I don't think it's going to get as far as Kathy. So it is Susan who has won the pick roulette tonight. So congratulations to you. Let me move this across so you can see it more clearly. And if you can let yourself be known in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that Carla can get your details and everything that she needs to get everything sent off to you. And commiserations to everybody else, including Mary Hill. Sorry about that, choosing your name as the top tip for tonight, but at some point it's got to happen that I get the name correctly chosen for the pick roulette, but it is totally random, so there's like about less than a 1 in 100 chance of me getting it right. But anyway, congratulations to you, Susan, and let me get everything now off the screen so we can go back to me, because the entries for next week's pick roulette are now open. I need something up on screen that says entries now open. So now you can type in the comment section, or in the chat room, but it's in the comment section of this live stream. Anyway, you have to be watching live in order to comment. Again, this is something that happened after the last live stream. People are commenting, watching it in the future. So just check your time zone. It is 1:07 and 35 seconds here in the UK, and that's in the morning. So it's AM. And if it's not that time in London, if you type into Google and it's not that time in London while you're watching this, then you're not watching it live. So I won't be able to see your message. But anyway, you'll be able to see all these examples of what to do. We have to type at Carla and then Murray, tag her like that, and type I agree and press enter. And just copy what everybody's doing in the live chat room. You'll see mine, which should have the channel name highlighted, but you'll see it going through. You have to tag Carla in your comment and only post it once. So that is really important. Just post it once and tag Carla's name in it, and as long as you do that and you follow those rules, then, or guidelines, but they are rules. If you start just posting it loads of times, then your name won't get on the wheel. But if you can do that, then your name will be on the pick roulette wheel next week, and you could be walking away with a signed Wings of Pegasus pick, which looks like this. And on the other side, it kind of looks like this, but you'll get a new signed one, because this one obviously is rubbing off because I've been using this pick too much for playing guitar myself. So anyway, congratulations to Susan, and get your entries in now. Right, we've got 6 minutes left of the live stream tonight. So, let me make sure that I get through these donations. That's something that I can do while you guys are entering next week's pick roulette. And I'm just going to have to scroll up to make sure I don't miss any. We've got Mags, Myths and Legends, who has donated £2. Thank you for that. And the message is, maybe do an artist like Kylie, very overproduced. So thank you for that. I'm trying to think, have I done Kylie or not? I don't think I have. But now and again, we do have a look at more, I'd say, mainstream pop artists. There was one that actually tied in with autotune, and that was Madonna. So we did have a look at her for a while. I'm trying to think. There is, again, unfortunately, is an autotune thing. There's Taylor Swift. That was, there's one on Ed Sheeran, which is a little bit kind of more poppy mainstream kind of stuff, but that was an interesting one because we were looking at how he used his looper pedal, and we looked at different footage. I think that was a bit of a problem actually from copyright perspective, but I think we worked our way around it. But anyway, thank you for that suggestion, request, and for the donation. Rena has donated $10 as well, so thank you for that, Rena. And Rena's name is, I know that Rena messaged me saying over on Patreon to have her name on here, but I do add all of the names to the patrons' names that go across. I think it's called a news feed or a feed or something like that when it goes across the bottom of the screen like that. But anyway, I thank you for that, Rena, and your name is down there somewhere. I've typed it in at least, so it should get picked up by the software. Diane has donated $20. Thank you for that, Diane. The message is, put this towards expanding your external hard drive. So thank you for that. Paul has donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, just because Billy Juliana is awesome. Thank you for that, Paul. And yes, hope you feel better, Billy. And Billy was the first ever winner of the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So she'll go down in Wings of Pegasus live stream history. The Hall of Fame. Maybe you should make up a Wings of Pegasus live stream Hall of Fame. And we'll just put some names in there. But Billy would definitely be in there if there were such a thing. Thank you, Sean, as well, who has donated $6.99. Again, Canadian dollars. Thank you for that. And the message is, my rush pick is in the chat. Red Barchetta from the Time Machine Tour. Thanks, Phil. So thank you for that, Sean. We have an actual rush pick. So yeah, that's great. And I can't remember. Trying to remember whose pick I had. I think I had Red Beach's pick from Winger, and this is it. Yeah, sometimes I throw them out into the crowd, and I managed to grab that one. And I think I had another one that I lost. I can't remember who, but anyway, I lose track of whose picks that I got. But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it's just one of those things. You have to be very lucky to get your hands on the picks that are thrown out, especially if it's a big show like a Wembley Arena or something, because yeah, they fly all over the place. But anyway, I did at least get one, which was Red Beaches from Winger. Not that I know where that is. I think I might have dropped it when my mum and dad were having an extension on their house, which meant that my room had to have all the carpets lifted up, and I dropped it and it bounced and went between the floorboards. So somewhere in my house there's a pick that belongs to Red Beach that's in the middle of the floor somewhere. So yeah, sod's law, but that's what happens with picks. They escape, and there was just no chance of it landing on a floorboard. It had to find the gap between them and then fall down. But anyway, thank you for that, Sean. And we've got 2 minutes left pretty much of the live stream, so I just want to make sure that we get through all the donations, because we've had another one over on PayPal, and it is Eric who has donated £7.04. So thank you for that, Eric, and that is a straight up donation. And another one has come in, and this is from Carla, who has donated £5.06. So thank you for that, Carla. Thank you, everyone, for all of the very kind donations tonight. And last chance, really last chance, to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette. So I can see that Carla has just said, if you post I agree on a Tuesday, it will show up on the following Tuesday. Same for Saturday. So yeah, just a quick note. I'll just reiterate what Carla's saying there, that typing your name tonight means that you're going to get your name on next Saturday's Pick Roulette. So it's always relevant to whichever day you are entering on. So if we hit the target on a Saturday live stream, then your name will be on the next Saturday's live stream on the Pick Roulette, and the same thing for the Tuesday. So just so you know that. And thank you, Carla, for mentioning that. And it's just about to go through the live chat room here. Tune in on Tuesdays as well if you want to double your chances of winning. Like I always say, we have that Pick Roulette on a Tuesday as well when we reach the target. And we are at 446 likes for tonight. So thank you, everyone, for hitting that thumbs up. If you're watching this in the future on catch up, you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. It still counts. It still really does help to get the live stream out there. Unfortunately, it doesn't count for the Pick Roulette, but it does count in terms of the channel. It still registers as having interaction on videos, and I think YouTube will more likely suggest something with more likes on, more interaction, all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. It really does help the channel, and it is much appreciated. So thank you, Rena, as well, who has just donated $2. And the message is, you didn't read my message, laugh out loud, but it says message deleted by Carla Murray. So that's something that the message has been removed by Carla. So I didn't get to see the message, unfortunately, but thank you for the donation and the message. And I'm not sure why it would have been deleted. Probably it's going to be something that isn't part of the guidelines. And if you do want to head over to wingsofpegasus.com and check out, I think there's a live stream section on the website that you can go to, and we've got all of the guidelines on there, and it's pretty much just keeping things community based and not mentioning politics and all that kind of stuff. So but all of the guidelines you'll be able to find at wingsofpegasus.com. So I'm sure it's probably something just to better be safe than sorry on the live streams. And again, thank you moderators for doing such a fantastic job in that live chat room tonight and all of the live streams. So we have just gone 1:15, so I'm going to try and keep things very regimented and just try and stay disciplined for tonight's live stream so that we don't run over by too much, because whenever I do run over, I then have a bit of an issue getting up to date with all of the comments that happen on all of the other videos on YouTube while we are live streaming. But anyway, make sure that you are subscribed, that you hit that notification bell and tick the box, do all that kind of stuff so that you don't miss the interview with Paul Palmer, with Phil Palmer. Phil's got the best name ever, obviously. So yes, definitely not Paul Palmer. Sometimes my brain, as you guys know, watching these live streams, will take a letter from the surname, or at least a future word in my sentence, and bring it further forward. So it brought the A from Palmer and put it after P and called him Paul. So there we go. Just a mystery guest or an anonymous. Maybe that can be a stage name or something. But anyway, make sure that you subscribe, and you'll that means you won't miss. I definitely haven't done an interview with Paul Palmer. Not yet anyway, but Phil Palmer, certainly you'll be able to see him on the channel soon. I'll be editing that together this week, so make sure you are subscribed, get notified so that you don't miss the video, and subscribe to make sure that you don't miss your request that you make in the comment section, because that's where I get the videos from. That's where all the analysis videos originate, are from your requests. So make sure that if you have requested a video, that you are subscribed so that you see my analysis of it in the future. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Huge shout out to my patrons, as always, just for making everything possible on the channel. You know who you are. Thank you guys for all of your kind donations, and my patrons who do pop in with the PayPal donations and Super Chat donations as well. You know who you are. But we're going to be coming out with another video tomorrow night, an analysis video, and then we'll be live streaming again on Tuesday night. So make sure you tune in then if you want to double your chances of winning in the pick roulette. But if you want to join in on Patreon, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, that's the site to go to. But thank you everyone for joining me tonight, and I'll have another analysis video on Wednesday. We're pretty much hopefully getting back into the swing of things, but because I've got the editing to do as well, that's an extra amount of work that I don't usually have. So it might be the case that next week, I think Wednesday night, we'll definitely have an analysis video, but then Friday night, I'll have to see how things go, because I'll probably be gearing up to get everything done for Sunday. Anyway, stay in the loop over at patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And other than that, I'll see you guys again tomorrow night, and then live on Tuesday if you can make it again, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. Always the same time for the live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday. I will always be there unless I let you know. I don't think I've missed a live stream in about 3 years, literally. So I will be there if you are there. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Stay safe, wear your masks, follow your government's guidelines, all of that stuff. Just apply your own common sense, everything that is really important with the current day and COVID and all of the different things that people are suggesting and advising you do. So yeah, hopefully you can stay safe, and hopefully the weather isn't too bad where you are. Fingers crossed things will calm down, especially here in the UK as well. But I will see you again live on Tuesday night, and I'll see you guys at the next video. So stay safe. Massive thanks to the moderators, by the way, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!